The battle for Jammu and Kashmir statehood has entered a new phase. Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has announced a Delhi Chalo campaign with the National Conference planning a major protest at Jantar Mantar on the opening day of Parliament's monsoon session. The party says enough promises have been made and now it's time for action. Omar Abdullah has reminded the centre of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's public assurance on restoring statehood, asking why the promise remains unfulfilled despite an elected government being in place after the 2024 Assembly elections. The National Conference has also reached out to opposition parties across the country, attempting to turn the issue, quite honestly, from a regional demand into a national constitutional debate. But the BJP is pushing back. The party says constitutional decisions cannot be forced through street protests and insists that national security remains the overriding concern. It argues that after the 2025 Pahalgam terror attack and continued cross-border threats, restoring statehood can only happen when security situation is fully stabilized. The Congress has backed the demand, but with a broader pitch of statehood plus, calling not just for restoration of statehood but also constitutional safeguards, land rights and employment protections. The PDP, meanwhile, has criticized National Conference from the opposite direction, accusing it of reducing the larger battle over Jammu and Kashmir's constitutional status to a statehood campaign alone. So, is the centre delaying a constitutional commitment? Is this going to be statehood versus stalemate as Parliament session begins? I'm being joined at this point by Zorawar Singh Jambal, a BJP spokesperson, Umesh Talasi, who is the NC spokesperson, as well as Sushil Pandit, who is a senior journalist. Thank you very much, all three of you, for joining me. Let me just start with you at this point, Mr. Umesh Talasi. Weakness or patience? Chief Minister has said the patience must not be seen as weakness, but Omar Abdullah himself in the past has said, we will not push the centre, we will allow for it to happen at the opportune time.
Well, it's not about it's not about we'll allow him to do it at appropriate time. Like they committed on the floor of the House. There were three phases, right? It started with delimitation, which was not required at that moment of time, but any which ways, okay, we did let that happen. Then it started with the election process, which was Supreme Court intervened into it, and then there was the statehood. But time and again, they have been putting it back on the burner that statehood will give it at the appropriate time. Even Honorable Prime Minister Saab at Katra promised that the statehood will be restored as quickly as possible. But I think they've been delaying it for I don't know what reasons, because they're enjoying. They have got their Lieutenant Governor here, and they're enjoying the power as much as they want. So, but it's time. It's time. We're answerable to people. We have been elected by the people. The government is not working the way it should in the UT, right? So it's time for us to go ahead and launch a strong protest against what we demand. Look at the Ladakh, right? Ladakh protested, yet they were given the special guarantees, 371. They talked to them, they discussed, they give them the guarantees. But now we're here watching, waiting, and nothing is happening. So it's better for us to go ahead and launch a protest and see what turns out. We did one in Srinagar. We did one in Jammu yesterday, wherein you must have seen that people from Jammu supported the protest, the cause. And now we are doing one at New Delhi. That's our right. Nobody can stop us from going ahead and launching a protest for the statehood. That's what people demand here, and that's what we have to do.
Zorawar Singh, how do you respond to this? Basically, Chief Minister, the government, the party, they're saying that the government is not functioning how an elected government must.
See, first of all, I would like to give a clear-cut reply. Well, what do you mean by an appropriate time? I'm asking to National Conference. Was it an appropriate time to hold protest demonstrations in Kashmir as well as in Jammu when there was already an ongoing Shri Amarnath Yatra, and everybody knows whenever there is a 2-month-long Amarnath Yatra entering from Jammu and reaching to the Rebel Shrine, and they are holding protest. And as you in your opening remarks said, that Umar Abdullah, Chief Minister Abdullah is saying, don't check us from the level of our patience. I think the most impatient Chief Minister we have seen throughout the country is Umar Abdullah. His impatient, why I'm saying this is that why don't you have a belief in the words of Prime Minister and Honorable Home Minister when they said whenever there will be an appropriate time, the statehood would be restored. And who said, which party said that state will not be restored to J&K? So first of all, and another thing, the national conference, which is, raising bogies and talking of statehood, was it in their agenda during when they came to poll in
But Zorawar
post
Singh ji, if
2001
you are
time?
saying,
Their
I mean,
agenda was
whether
special
CM
status.
is
Their
impatient
agenda
or
was,
patient,
ma'am,
that's for
let me
Umesh
complete,
Talasi to
let me complete,
respond. We'll go
let
to
me
him for
complete.
that
Ma'am, their
response.
agenda was
But if
special
you're
status.
saying, why doesn't the Chief Minister have faith in the words of the Prime Minister? It was in 2021 that the
Yes,
three-phase progress was really
I'll
given
tell you.
out. We're talking about
If
2026. In
statehood,
2023, allow me, sir, 2023, the Supreme Court gave a directive and the centre was asked to restore statehood at the earliest. We're talking about 2023.
yeah.
2024, the assembly elections were held after that. And we are now in 2026. There's no talks of statehood.
See, I'll tell you.
Patience or
After
impatience?
you are, as you have referred to 2023, you are referring to honorable direction from the honorable Supreme Court. You see, when it happened, the bicentennial, you see the atmosphere is not that conducive that the statehood must be restored, and that too in the hands of those who are misgoverning Jammu and Kashmir since past 18 months. It's not just the completion of 2 years. What achievement they have done in
So
past
what is
18
this
months?
landmark of 2 years?
That
I'm not sure
if
about that. Umesh Talasi,
see,
what is this landmark of two
I'll tell
years?
you. 1 minute.
Where did
Let
this
me
two
complete.
years come from, sir?
The
Right.
national
Let me
conference,
answer.
the
Let
national
me answer,
conference.
Jamal sir.
Okay,
Let me
okay,
answer
Umesh,
this.
1 minute.
Just give me,
30, I mean,
just
I'm
give me
sorry,
1 minute.
I'll also get in at this point Sushil Pandit. Sushil Pandit ji, just give me 5 minutes. I want to come to this. But where did you say they've not even completed 2 years from Zorawar? Where did you get that from? Where is this 2 year mark coming from?
I'll tell you. When you are talking of patients, when they are talking like delimitation was not necessary at that time, is National Conference the only party to whom Government of India has to first get permission what to do, what not to do? Then
I'm
another
asking
thing,
you, where is
they
this
often,
2 year point coming from? Have I missed
see, I'll
something?
tell
Did
you.
the centre say they will restore it after 2 years of the new government? Did
No,
the
I am
Supreme Court
saying,
say that
I
it
am,
should be
I
restored
am,
after 2 years? Where is this
ma'am,
2 year mark coming from that you're talking?
madam, I am saying since past 18 months, who is ruling the Jammu and Kashmir UT? And they're talking of state. In this past 18 months, they have delivered zero to the people for the welfare of the people. And how they are going to convince the people of Jammu and Kashmir that once just one law and order department is given to them, can they give us that nothing will happen? And when Government of India, our security forces are trying hard to restore peace, to control terrorism, to wipe out separatism, but the way Umar Abdullah National Conference is speaking, it looks like they are trying to revive separatism in Jammu and Kashmir.
Because they're
See, I'll
demanding
give
for
you one
statehood.
example.
Because they're
They are
demanding for
giving
statehood, they
example.
want separatism. Umesh
See,
Talasi.
the words they are using, the words they are using, the way they are playing
What words did
politics,
they use, sir?
it
Sorry,
is
I missed
looking like
this. What words
they,
did they use?
how come they have invited Mirwais Umar Farooq in their joint protest? Everybody knows who is Mirwais Umar Farooq.
Umesh Talasi,
How many
respond.
his
Umesh
organization
Talasi,
is
respond.
responsible
People
Well,
deserve a
for
response to
every
let me
that.
killings
answer
in
you.
J&K, and
Let
you
me
are
answer your
inviting
Umesh
question.
Talasi,
all those
even when the
people
invite
Point,
was
who
point,
are
being
point.
sent
going
out, I'm
who are
sure
going
you
to
knew this would
separatism
come
Wait,
up,
in
and this is a
J&K.
fair point. Everybody knows
wait.
where this is coming from.
Wait. Let me answer his questions point by point. Point number one, his question was, we did a protest during the Amarnath Yatra. Nobody knows much more than, what Kashmir puts their light through during the Amarnath Yatra, because, it's economic growth plus a lot of things are there. We understand what Amarnath Yatra means to us. They should question themselves when they started doing the Lathi charge in Jammu on Yatri. So you should question your government where you hold the law and order with your government. You should question them when you rain sticks to them when they were here. So leave about Amarnath Yatra. We did a protest. We had a spot. We did a protest there. We didn't block the roads. You know, we did a peaceful protest there. Point number two, you're talking about the security. That security
Mosa, and then I
will be
want to go to
taken
Mr.
into.
Sushil Pandit. Go
No,
ahead, sir.
he's talking about Bison happened, a lot of things happened. Everything happened under your watch, 2019. It's an LG rule. Law and order is governed by Lieutenant Governor. It was the failed LG rule. We saw minority killings happening. We saw employees being killed. We saw tourists being killed that we never saw before. We saw, these bison happen under your watch. So if there's a security failure, that goes to you. That's in your kit, not ours. Okay, if you're giving us the reasons that these are the reasons we can't restore, you should have restored it immediately because you proved to be a disaster in maintaining law and order in Jammu and Kashmir. Your lieutenant governor, other than issuing the condemnation tweets, he could do nothing to manage the law and order. You can see it from 2019. We never witnessed Kashmiri minority, Kashmiri Pandits being killed inside their offices. It was back in 1990. Now,
Who was
2019, we saw
was
people being
ruling
killed
at
under
that
your
time?
watch. Under
When
your watch,
Kashmiri
it's
Sir,
cover of
Pandits were
sir,
media.
I
forced
think
Now,
you're going
coming
into an
to
aspect
coming
which
to
surrender
the
itself
power
question,
is
through
refuted.
coming
I
to
think I
your
would like to
coming to
stick
your
to what
last
we are really
question,
discussing.
coming to
And
your
you
last
would know
national
what
question.
you just made a
conference.
point right now can completely derail this discussion, but that's not what I'm going to allow. Sushil
No,
Pandit
no,
ji.
no. He's talking about the law and order and appropriate
No,
time for the
allow me
state
a
No,
to
I'm
minute. Let me
talking
just
respond.
go
about
to
national.
Sushil
It's
Pandit.
I'm
Sushil
there.
talking
Pandit ji,
about
tell
law and
me,
order.
It's
tell
I'm
loud
me a
and
very
talking
clear.
simple
about
thing,
the
Sushil Pandit
time
ji.
National Conference chose
What's the
to hold
sense in
protest in
Jammu and
J&K.
Kashmir? How deeply, dearly do people in Jammu and Kashmir really talk about statehood?
Thank you for finally getting me into the conversation.
Because you will be the voice who will be able to give us the sense of what's on the ground dispassionately. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. But I find this entire conversation so far so pointless and so cruel. As in it's a bit of a joke on a community which is in exile for the last 3.5 decades, 36 years and counting. And this man says we have been patiently waiting for the statehood. Think of tens of thousands of refugees patiently waiting to return home, patiently waiting for justice. In fact, patiently waiting for even acknowledgement of the fact that they faced a genocide. Look at their patience. And here, one of such refugee communities who's right now on the panel is counting patience of his owner, his mentor, his leader, who has been given this power on a platter. Third generation. He's accusing right, left, and center of people being killed under their watch. We were exiled under their watch 36 years ago. And subsequently, their governments came, father came, son came again. Nothing happened for us. Look at our patience. And they're clamoring for power? For what? And who are they accusing for failure of law and order, failure of security? Massacres happened right under their nose. An entire genocide happened under their watch. And they're clamoring for power again? Isn't it shameless? Isn't it coming rich from people, a person who's part of that community? Look at the perfidy. Look at how people backstab for their political interest an entire community. And they argue for a leadership which is culpable in this genocide. It is incredible, number one. Number two, the state can wait. They had the entire state. They not only had the state, they had incredible autonomy under 370. What they were asking for when they had the statehood and the autonomy of 370, they were asking for pre-1953 status. What did they do with that autonomy? They kicked us out of that place. What do they want this power again for? To have an uncontrolled, unmitigated disaster unleashed on Kashmir all over again? Is that what they want the statehood for? Is that what they want the power for? What has changed? in their attitude. They are bringing back Mir Wais, who was the chairman of Hurriyat Conference. Hurriyat means freedom in Persian. Freedom Conference from India. And they want him to be part of this protest. You know what their intentions are.